An EC 103.1 sports presentation. Eureka College Red Devils men's and women's basketball on EC 103.1. This Red Devils broadcast is made possible by City Blue Technologies in Peoria, an Epson dealer serving Central Illinois with sustainable office printing solutions. By Windy Puff Pizzeria and Pub in Eureka. And by Cornerstone Family Restaurant in Eureka. Now, let's go live to the City Blue Technologies broadcast booth for coverage of today's game.
The Eureka Red Devils traveling all the way to Batesville, Arkansas to come up here and go against the Lyon Scots on the road. Eureka coming in at 3-10 overall. Scots 8-5. Welcome to EC 103.1. My name is Matthew Swan. I'll be bringing you today's broadcast. Once again, this is a SLIAC matchup. Eureka currently in 7th place in the SLIAC, 2-4 record in conference play. Lyon right now tied for 2nd place, 5-1 with Spalding and Webster right now just trying to fight for that 2nd place spot. Red Devils last game lost 81-63 on the road to Spalding. We now have a losing streak of 2 games. This season, Eureka has just been experiencing a development type of year. There are 16 newcomers on this team, and of course, the Red Devils just failing to hold on to their lead, mostly because of sloppy defense. We know that they lost that game against Rockford on the road, 77-63, blowing a 17-11 lead late in the game, losing 66-61 at home against Principia. Once again, they had the lead, something they couldn't hold on to early in the second half. Fighting Scots coming into this one, they won their last game 82-62 versus Principia at home. They now have a winning streak of 4 games. The Scots here this season are just finding ways to mount their offense through scoring. Pretty simple, but when you look at it, it goes a long way. Their reason for success, they are just noting routes to the basket, and they are staying within themselves. They're not trying to do too much, and that's something that these Red Devils try to do quite often. We know that they like to push the pace. The Eureka Red Devils are an aggressive team, but sometimes it's a little bit too much, even for themselves. Eureka key players, Pee Wee Brown, 15 points last game. He led the team. He now is averaging 16.5 points per game. Jacob Gonzalez as well. We know how great of a mid-range shooter he is. He led the team with 5 rebounds last game and had 6 points to his account, now shooting 45% from the field. And, of course, Micah Brewer, the three-point shooter. He led the team with 3 assists and had 5 points, 3 of them from behind the arc. He's shooting 44.7% from 3. For Lyon, we're going to see Frank Toney, 17 points last game, which led the team. He's shooting over 400% from the field. Kylan McCullough, he tied for the team lead in points last game. He now has 243 points on the season. Jonzel Bush as well. He had 2 3-point field goals made last game. He is shooting .375% from behind the arc. As mentioned, this is going to be a very important game, mostly for the Lyon Scots. Eureka obviously not competing as the way they would like to, but for the Scots, they want that 2nd place spot in the SLIAC. We're already past that halfway mark in the schedule, and here for Lyon, they want to make a statement. They are trying to get to they're trying to win these games and have a SLIAC championship to their account. But that is all for the pregame side of things. You're going to want to stay tuned for first half coverage up next here on EC 103.1. Stay tuned.
Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by City Blue Technologies of Peoria, an Epson distributor serving Central Illinois. Did you know that North America consumes around 100 million pounds of toner powder annually? This is the equivalent of more than 2.5 billion plastic bottles, 9.5 billion plastic bags, or 116 billion plastic straws. Epson now has precision core heat-free printing as an alternative to laser printers. Learn about sustainable printing solutions from City Blue Technologies at citybluetechnologies.com.
Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by Cornerstone Family Restaurant of Eureka. Locally and family-owned for nearly 25 years by Michael and Donna Sweeney, Cornerstone Family Restaurant serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. They are open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sundays, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Dine in, carry out, or order online. Cornerstone Family Restaurant is located on Center Street on the west edge of Eureka. Get more information or order online at cornerstone-family-restaurant.com.
Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub in Eureka. Locally owned by Mike and Bob Mayo, Wendy Puff Pizzeria offers a unique variety of pizzas, appetizers, salads, and desserts. Wendy Puff is open Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 and Fridays and Saturdays from 4 to 10. Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub at 112 South Main Street in downtown Eureka. They also offer online ordering at wendypuff.com.
We are back here at Lyon College for the starting lineups for Eureka. It's going to be Ben Carter getting the start. Pee Wee Brown, the usual guy on the floor. Amarion Bird, Jacob Gonzalez, and of course Raymond Banzamuna Jr. The starting lineups for the Lyon Fighting Scots are currently being announced, but we're going to look at Eureka's side of things right now. Ben Carter, as I mentioned, getting the start. Not a usual starter for Eureka, but he is having himself a pretty decent season. A season high of 9 points. That was in that home game against Blackburn, in which Eureka was able to come up with the win, 97-67. Ben Carter, 13 games this season. Over 160 minutes as well. He's shooting 32% from the field. And of course, his three-point shooting is the one main thing that stands out. Last season as well, he was very successful from behind the arc. Then we have, of course, Amarion Bird, Pee Wee Brown, the two main guys. Brown, a senior, Bird, the junior, both out of Peoria, Illinois. We know how good they are offensively, always able to produce. Jacob Gonzalez, the great mid-range shooter, and Raymond Banzamuna Jr., another mid-range guy, and also not afraid to shoot the three-point ball. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this pans out. Coach Wieldy going with a different starting five. So it's going to be exciting and interesting to see how this plays out. Both teams making their way out onto the floor, getting ready for this one. The starting five for the Scots, you're going to have Frank Toney, Kylan McCullough, Colby West, Malik Madison, and Kennedy Warren. Eureka wins the tip-off. Amarion Bird already going to be heavily guarded by Colby West. That is one of the things that makes this Fighting Scots team so successful. Their defense is really great. Carter going up for the first shot of the game, ends up short. Here's a fast break opportunity, sidestep there, and an easy 2 points for Kennedy Warren. And that's how the scoring gets started here in this game. Scots already up early, 2-0 lead. Banzamuna over to Carter. Brown now with the basketball. Brown unable to get past Toney, going up for the mid-range, off the backboard, no good. And this one goes out of bounds. It'll head over into the hands of the Scots. Well, that's one of the things that the Fighting Scots does so well. And I've talked about their defense, but it truly is amazing. They force a lot of turnovers. They have 101 steals this season. Obviously not afraid to be aggressive on defense, try to steal the ball. Here's a deep two. That one no good from Toney. Carter coming up with the rebound. He's going to flip it off to Bird, and he'll take it up the floor. Eureka already over a minute to play in this one, looking for their first points of the game. I like the stance for sure, taking their time. Here's a top of the key three. Bang! Banzamuna. Three-pointer from the top of the key. That puts Eureka on top by a point. And that's how the scoring gets started for the Red Devils. Banzamuna on the season, putting up really great numbers offensively. I mentioned in the pregame, he's one of those guys that he's able to shoot from mid-range, but as I mentioned, he is not afraid of shooting from three as well. 33.3% from the field. 13 games played for Banzamuna this season. Scots finally inbound at McCullough. in the paint. That's a no good jumper there from Madison. Eureka comes up with it. Great defensive stop there. Once again, the stance offensively from Eureka. Very impressive, taking their time, staying within themselves. That's one of the things that was highlighted and that they struggle with. Banzamuna gets his defender in the air and puts it in, and the foul. 5 points now for Banzamuna, looking to make it 6. That's going to be the first foul against the Scots here in this game. Very impressive from Banzamuna Jr. Season high of 23 points this season at home against Beloit. Again, that's a game, unfortunately, that Eureka dropped only by 7 points. That was their second official game of the season as Banzamuna knocks down that free throw. 6 points for Eureka, 6 points for Banzamuna. Left hand, that one spins in. Colby West getting on the scoreboard here for the Fighting Scots. Very quickly, though. So this is the transition that the Scots are so good at, not really letting Eureka get past that half-court line. Finally, Brown gets it over to Banzamuna, who directs traffic. Bird sets up the screen, standing at the top of the key. Bird outside. Banzamuna with a three, just short. Taking it up the floor, McKeelho. He's going to go with the right hand, puts it up, no good. Bird rebounded. Gonzalez with possession of the basketball. Sidestep to his left, puts up the jumper, and good, and the foul. I talked about it in the pregame. Jacob Gonzalez, the mid-range shooter, obviously doing that so well, continues to prove his point. 8-4 for Eureka. Gonzalez trying to extend that lead. His free throw attempt is good. That'll make him 1 for 1 from the line here tonight. He is around that 66.7% mark from the free throw line. West outside. That one's going to get stripped away. Bird ends up with it. He's going to push the pace a little bit here. Finally slows himself down. Outside pass to Banzamuna. Here's a three. Short. Carter. Loose ball. He gets the rebound. He needs help, though. He's going to have to get it away. Gets it into the hands of Banzamuna. Great job there by Ben Carter. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Bird slowing things down. Once again, Eureka staying within themselves. Bird with a three. Bang! And that is going to cause Lyon to call a timeout. 12-4 Eureka. A hot start from Raymond Banzamuna Jr. here in this game, who now has 6 of the 12 points. Stay tuned for more first half coverage coming up on EC 103.1.
Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by Cornerstone Family Restaurant of Eureka. Locally and family owned for nearly 25 years by Michael and Donna Sweeney, Cornerstone Family Restaurant serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. They are open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sundays, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Dine in, carry out, or order online. Cornerstone Family Restaurant is located on Center Street on the west edge of Eureka. Get more information or order online at cornerstone-family-restaurant.com.
Back for more first half coverage here at Lyon College. Eureka with a very strong start offensively. They lead at 12-4. Pump fake there from McKeelho, gets Carter in the air and knocks down the mid-range. That cuts the lead for Eureka into half. Gonzalez now will take it up the floor. Banzamuna doing a great job offensively. 6 of the 12 points for Eureka in this game. Couple of threes, and then on top of that, converting at the line as well. Brown fighting to the rim. He's going to put it up. He is going to be blocked, and that one tipped out of bounds. This one is going to stay with Eureka, signals the ref. 15:35 left to go here in this first half. A lot of time left. It's going to be Jacob Gonzalez to inbound. Bleachers are completely filled here at Lyon College. Open three from Carter. That one way too wide left. Coming up the floor with the right hand, and another 2 points for Malik Madison. That'll put him at his first 2 points of the night. Banzamuna trying to play aggressively, nearly lost it. He's finally going to settle down. Bird, top of the key. Banzamuna setting the screen outside. Banzamuna, top of the key. Thinking about the three. Hands it off to Brown. 9 seconds on the shot clock. There's the screen from Banzamuna. Brown, double team, spinning, stopping his feet, in trouble. 2 seconds on the shot clock, and it's going to be a jump ball. A great defense there from Frank Toney. Able to make that play in what could have been an extension of the lead from Eureka. Now ends up into the hands of Lyon. Just under 15 minutes here. Eureka 12, Lyon 8. And Toney is going to slowly take it up the floor as the Scots look to get something going offensively here. He's going to hand it off over to Warren, looking for room. Eureka wanted the travel, doesn't get it. In that right wing, now in the paint. Madison, Brown, and Warren puts it up. Another 2 points for Kennedy Warren. He's now at 4 points in this game as the Scots cut the lead down to 2. Banzamuna standing at the top of the key once again. Looking for room. Outside pass, Gonzalez stops his feet. Banzamuna in the paint, puts it up, no good. Warren is going to take it up the floor. Toney, wide open three. That one goes in and out. Bird with the rebound. Amarion Bird, the walking double-double. He already has 2 rebounds in this game, 3 points. Banzamuna standing at the top of the floor. Brown resetting, crossover move. Great job by Brown. He's going to go up, and that one spins in and out. Warren once again grabbing the rebound there. Up the floor, West, right wing, going up against Bird. And the ref is going to blow the whistle there. Looks like that is going to be a foul. Claiming that Bird maybe tried to get away with a push there. So Frank Toney going to inbound for the Scots here, as they can either tie it up or take the lead. Pass outside. Here's Warren, wide open three. That one short and tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Scots. The Scots have over 1,000 points this season. Remember, they're the ones with the 5-1 record. Here's a three. That one no good. Rebounded by DeJesus. DeJesus is seeing his first minutes of the game. Brown will take it up the floor. Eureka controlling the basketball really well in this game. There's the screen from DeJesus. Brown, mid-range. That one wide right. Tipped by Gonzalez. Bird able to keep it in play. Carter outside. Here's a three from Brown. No good. Rebounded there by Bridges, and taking it up the floor is Toney. He's going to stop his feet. Crossover move. Put up with the right hand. No good. Brown curling it in. Gonzalez looking for space. Bounce pass to Jesus, and that one tipped out of bounds. Jesus unable to hold on to it. That will be a turnover. So that'll actually be Eureka's second turnover of the game. Lyon 0 turnovers up to this point. Both teams right now controlling the ball really well, and that's what's going to help you win games. As we can already tell within the first almost 10 full minutes of this game, both teams going to make this very competitive. Eureka putting up a great fight to start this first half. Pee-wee Brown going to take a little break. Micah Brewer comes into the game. Dylan Logsdon as well. Here's a mid-range. That one no good from Makiwahau. Bird taking it up the floor. West is going to wait for him past the half-court line. Bird looking for that DeJesus screen. He's going to get it. Bird to his left. Dribbling between the legs. Stops his feet. Flip to Gonzalez. Spinning. Firing. That one no good. Rebounded by West. Both teams starting to pick up the pace a little bit offensively. Toney outside to West. He's going to go for the mid-range. That one falls through. And Lyon ties it up here. For the first time tonight, they have a chance to grab the lead, assuming Eureka doesn't do anything here on this offensive possession. Bird, once again, to the rim, right hand, and good. 14-12, Red Devils on top as we reach that 11.5-minute mark here in the first half. Tony taking it up the floor. He's going to go with that right hand, no good. Bird, another rebound. Dylan Logsdon, fast break opportunity, right hand, and good. Eureka extending the lead back up to 4. Not a lot of fouls between either side. Going up, there's the right hand, blocked, and a late foul call. That's going to go against Dylan Logsdon. And finally, we're going to see one of the Scott players at the line. Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by Cornerstone Family Restaurant of Eureka. Locally and family owned for nearly 25 years by Michael and Donna Sweeney. Cornerstone Family Restaurant serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. They are open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sundays, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can dine in, carry out, or order online. Cornerstone Family Restaurant is located on Center Street on the west edge of Eureka. You can get more information or order online at cornerstone-family-restaurant.com. So McCullough only able to go 1 for 2 from the line there. Eureka still on top by 3. 16-13 is the score. Bird with the basketball. Once again, guarded by West. Outside to Jesus. 3, no good. Rebounded there by Bush. Lyon pushing the pace. West in the paint. He's going to go up and good. Screaming in the face of DeJesus. Colby West getting into it here in this game early on. He is now at 4 points. That leads the team. Bird spinning right hand. No good and no foul call. Looks like there was a lot of contact under the rim there. Once again, pushing the pace. Bush, outside pass, saved and kept in bounds by Cunningham. And it looks like a whistle is going to be blown. I believe there might be some jawing right now between both sides. Colby West becoming really aggressive on the floor. This one's going to stick with Lyon, it looks like. Cunningham will inbound it. He's going to get it over to Bush. Now into the hands of McCullough. Corner 3 here from Cunningham. That one, no good. Blake Logsdon able to get the defensive rebound. Eureka pushing the pace. Logsdon, right hand, good. Eureka extending the lead, back up by 3. That'll be Blake Logsdon's first 2 points of the game, as he is seeing his first minutes tonight. Here's a short mid-range jumper. That one good by Jonzel Bush. Bush now collecting his first points of the game. Seems like everyone's getting a touch here on the basketball. Bird, crossover move to his right. Brewer with a 3. Bang! Micah Brewer. I highlighted him in the pregame, the 3-point shooter. His first 3 of the night. No good mid-range there from McCullough. Brewer taking it up the floor. Blake Logsdon. 3-pointer, that one short, rebounded by McCullough. Logsdon kind of hesitated a little bit there, maybe threw him off his game. Eureka 21, Lions 17. Just under 9 minutes left to go in this first half. Cunningham now in the hands of West. Fighting against Bird, spinning and falls, and there's going to be a foul call. The refs maybe being a little lenient right now towards Lyon. There was definitely no foul there. West is just drawing a lot of attention to himself, and he's going to be subbed out. Bird talking to the ref, telling him what he saw. Once again, Cunningham, the inbounder, he's going to get it into the hands of John Paul Morgan. Cunningham thought about a corner 3, tried to flop there. This is a very dramatic Lion team. Cunningham once again outside. He's going to throw up the three. That one's short. Fighting for the rebound. Dylan Logsdon comes up with it. And smart move there by Eureka to slow things down. Bird up the floor, taking his time. Madison waiting for him. Bird to his right, nearly lost it outside to Jesus. Now Dylan Logsdon, there's a screen. Bird in the corner. Low pass to Logsdon. Micah Brewer gets his defender in the air. Here's a three. No good to Jesus. Nearly getting the offensive board, ending up in the hands of Bush. Fast break opportunity. And it looks like he is going to get fouled. The shot will be no good, the ref says, but it is a foul. That one going against Eureka on Bush. Once again, Lyon is going to have to inbound this one. Cunningham coming out of the game. We're going to see Frank Toney get substituted back in. Just under 8 minutes left to go. Red Devils 21, Lions 17. Toney back in the hands of Bush. Going against Blake Logsdon. Loses it. Gets it outside. Toney looking for Bell. He keeps eyeing that right wing area. Finally going to slow things down. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Toney with a three. That one no good. Fighting for the rebound. Kept in play by Lyon. Another three from Toney. That one falls through. Just like that, Lyon down by a single point, 21-20. Eureka going to have to respond offensively. A lot of the time that Eureka does have the lead, we've seen a lot of mental breakdowns. Not so much skill-wise, or it's not a talent issue, but they get down on themselves. This is a very aggressive team. Blake Logsdon, and that one passed away into the hands of Bell. Going against the Jesus, he's going to go up with the right hand. No good. Dylan Logsdon with the rebound. Passes it over to his brother Blake. Brewer in the corner. De Jesus now. Passed into the hands of Richardson. Now Brewer. Brewer wanted the shot. Outside De Jesus with a three. Bang! Sam De Jesus extends Eureka's lead 24-20. Bell in the corner. De Jesus against him. Great defense there by De Jesus. Fighting for the basketball. Toney spinning. Right hand, no good, but he is going to get fouled. Eureka defensively playing really well right now. Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by City Blue Technologies of Peoria, an Epson distributor serving Central Illinois. Did you know that North America consumes around 100 million pounds of toner powder annually? This is the equivalent of more than 2.5 billion plastic bottles, 9.5 billion plastic bags, or 116 billion plastic straws. Epson now has precision core heat-free printing as an alternative to laser printers. You can learn about sustainable printing solutions from City Blue Technologies at citybluetechnologies.com. Toney at the line going 2 for 2. That'll put him up at 5 points on the night. Blake Logsdon taking it up the floor. He's going to hand it over to his brother Dylan. Now Richardson. De Jesus pass to Logsdon. Stops his feet. Outside, large pass. Nearly got away from De Jesus there. Logsdon. Blake Logsdon gets the screen from De Jesus. Outside, Dylan. Corner three. Bang! Eureka extending their lead. Now a 27-22 ball game. Lions still looking for their first lead of the night. Mid-range by Toney. No good. Dylan with the rebound. And picked off there. And that one's going to go in. Jonzel Bush taking advantage there. Screaming in the face of Dylan Logsdon. Richardson in the corner. Very aggressive Lion team right now, trying to grab their first lead of the night. Blake is going to reset here. Going up against Toney. Very aggressive defense. Crossover move. Screen from Richardson. Outside, Dylan. Richardson. And that one tipped away. Kept in play by Toney. He's going to go to the rim against De Jesus. Right hand, no good. Put back up fighting for the ball, and that one's going to go in. John Paul Morgan sees his first 2 points of the night. Lyon down by a single point now. Under 5 minutes left to go in this first half. Eureka needing to hold on to the lead. They need this momentum, especially at the end of the first half. They need this going into the second half. Brewer, outside pass to Jesus. Blake Logsdon with the ball. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Richardson, he's going to give it to Dillon. Crossover move. Logsdon, 3. Too wide. Fighting for the offensive board, and it looks like the ref is going to say shot clock violation, as I guess Logsdon didn't get the ball up in time. We're going to see DeJesus come back out, and Bird and Brown coming back into the game. Dylan Logsdon as well taking a little break. 4 minutes, 19 seconds left to go in the first half. Eureka 27, Lyon 26. Tony for Lyon taking it up the floor. The senior out of Long Island, New York. 5 points on the night for Tony, shooting 1 for 7 from the field. Picked off by Brown, keeping it in play. He's going to go to the rim against Tony, puts it up, and good. Pee Wee Brown, within the first 30 seconds of coming back into this game, adds himself another 2 points. He is now 1 for 6 from the field, as those were his first 2 points of the night. Tony getting a screen there, outside pass. Stopping his feet. Bush looking for room, outside to Tony. Crossover move there. Passing once again in the paint. Madison against Richardson. Right hand, no, puts it back up. Fighting for the rebound. Brown gets it. Bird now will take it up the floor. Once again directing traffic. Taking his time. Eureka in this first half staying within themselves. That's great. Bird outside. Richardson open 3. Short. Rebounded there by McCullough. Tony against Blake. Right hand. Nearly saved himself from a travel. Able to get the ball up to the rim just beforehand. Shot no good, but he is fouled. Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub in Eureka, locally owned by Mike and Bob Mayo. Wendy Puff offers a unique variety of pizzas, appetizers, salads, and desserts. Wendy Puff is open Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 and Fridays and Saturdays from 4 to 10. Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub at 112 South Main Street in downtown Eureka. They also offer online ordering at wendypuff.com. Tony, once again, his second trip at the line tonight, knocks down his first attempt. Trying to cut this lead back down within a single point. And he knocks down, he goes 2 for 2 there. He's now 4 for 4 from the line tonight. 29-28, Red Devils still on top. They still have to stay within themselves. That one's going to be taken away by Tony. Lyon looking for their first lead of the night, and they get it. Janzel Bush with the right hand. Lyon on top, 30-29. Eureka still in this. They need to get a response very quickly. 2:43 left to go in this first half. Bird taking his time. Always the better option. Slowing things down here, Blake Logsdon gets the Bird screen, stops his feet, passes over to Provost. Bird, another screen against Tony. Provost, right hand, and good! Eureka back on top, 31-30. Tony going against Blake Logsdon. Step back, right hand, no good. Rebounded by Brown. Eureka has numbers as Madison's on the ground. He looks hurt. Corner 3, Provost, no good. Bird, rebound, he can put it back up. Puts it up and good. Eureka extending their lead, 33-30. Malik Madison was all the way on the backcourt, on the floor, struggling to get up as he sets a screen there. Top of the key, Bush, now in the hands of Tony. Gets it into the hands of McCullough, and a turnover. A moving screen is the call. Eureka will regain possession of the basketball once again trying to extend the lead. 2 turnovers now for Lyon. Eureka at 7. Obviously, if they want to keep this lead going into the second half, they're going to have to cut that number down. Coker inbounds it over to Bird, still taking his time. Very smart. Eureka playing with high basketball IQ in this one. Bird stops his feet, mid-range, just short. Gonzalez offensive board. Outside Bird, back to Gonzalez in the paint, stops his feet, puts it up, no good. That one's going to be rebounded by John Paul. Tony pushing the pace behind the back, nearly losing it. West. Brown comes up with it. Eureka has numbers. Bird, right hand, good. 35-30, Red Devils on top. Just over a minute left to go. That layup no good. Rebounded by McCullough. Puts it back up. Gonzalez comes up with it. Eureka needs to slow it down here. Provost, loose ball. Slow things down. And Marion Bird doing just that. 19 seconds on the shot clock. 45 left to go in the first half. Eureka can hold on to it. There's a screen from Coker. Bird outside. Provost, 3. In and out. Brown fighting for the offensive board. It's going to go out of bounds, and this one's going over to Lyon. Provost, a very, very accurate three-point shooter, as that one just happened to spin in and out, not getting the lucky bounce on that one. Provost, a 30.8% three-point percentage this season. Tony taking his time. 20 seconds on the game clock. Gonzalez locking him up on defense. Stops his feet. 10 seconds on the shot clock. That one's going to be blocked by Gonzalez. Loose ball. West. Bounce pass. Bush puts it up and in. 5 seconds to go. Eureka can get one more shot up. Gonzalez, half-court line. Floats it up and no good. But that will conclude this first half. Eureka leads it 35-32 in a very strong offensive first half. Amarion Bird leads the team with 9 points. And Bird and the Red Devils attempting to take that momentum into the second half. Stay tuned for upcoming second half coverage up next here on EC 103.1.
Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub in Eureka. Locally owned by Mike and Bob Mayo, Wendy Puff Pizzeria offers a unique variety of pizzas, appetizers, salads, and desserts. Wendy Puff is open Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 and Fridays and Saturdays from 4 to 10. Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub at 112 South Main Street in downtown Eureka. They also offer online ordering at wendypuff.com.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
You're watching the Eureka College Basketball Halftime Show. My name is Derek Payton. I'm here with Dr. John Malone, Associate Professor of Radio Communications here at the university. And I just have a couple questions here for you today. My first one's going to be, where does this natural passion for radio come from, and when did you know that this is something that you wanted to do?
Well, when I was a kid, growing up, listened to a lot of radio, watched a lot of TV, because my parents were school teachers, and I was kind of what they call a latchkey child, where you let yourself in and take care of yourself till mom and dad get home from work. And from the earliest time I can remember, I just had that bug that I wanted to be that person on the other side of that speaker. I wanted to be that person on the other side of that TV screen. And then gradually, as I got older, I realized I had more of a face for radio, so I decided that radio was going to be the way I was going to go.
And then so I looked into kind of your history and what you've been doing. You've been doing radio for a long time. So my question for you would be, how has the change in the times affected how radio is produced and what's kind of going on behind the scenes there?
Well, I started in radio in 1987, and that was while I was in high school. I did it through the Diversified Work-Study Occupations program, and then everything was live. There was no automation. There was no walk-away programming. You basically played every single thing you did, and if it got on the air, you manually did it. So it was live, local, and we, being from a small town, WBYS, this first station I was at, covered a lot of community events, was very, very involved in covering, local news, information. I even, people joke around today, it was so local, I even read obituaries on the air. I read birth notices. I would read who got speeding tickets. We're talking hyper-local type of programming. And then as I moved into more competitive programming, coming into the Peoria radio market when I was in college, things were a little bit more specialized, and then it was right around that time that I got into the media business in Peoria when digital automation came along, and I was kind of at the forefront of that. So, it's kind of taken multi-steps. By the time I got through the first few years of out of college in 1993, that's when some deregulation passed with the FCC that relaxed ownership limits and such, and kind of made it more of a corporate dynamic that we have today.
Yeah.
Now, that's a kind of a long answer to your short question, but
it's a good one. I kind of have a follow-up would be, being that you've been doing radio for so long and kind of in the business, would you say that it has become maybe easier for you to teach it? Or how does that kind of help you out?
Well, it became easier to teach it as I got more experience teaching.
Okay.
When I first got into teaching, you have to understand it was a total accident. I was at WMBD radio in Peoria, and in '04 there were some management changes that took place, and I was laid off from that position. So during the summer of '04, I was approached by someone who I had known for years who was working at Lincoln College in Lincoln, and they asked me if I would just come down and help out over the summer and get their radio station back on the air. They were having some issues there. And so I spent a summer at Lincoln in '04, and then the provost there at the time asked me if I'd like to teach classes. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, I've never taught anything. I'm a broadcaster through and through. So I got thrown into the mix in teaching, and the first couple of years was a challenge. First of all, I only thought I was going to do it one semester, and I stayed another semester, and then stayed another semester, and then became basically permanent. And then Lincoln closed in 2022, and we moved the program to Eureka. So really, teaching has been something I've had to grow into because I wasn't born to do it.
Yeah, and so you said you've been teaching since 2004? 2004,
yes.
So about 20 years coming up now.
Yep, this is my, I just in August started my 20th school year.
That's exciting, congratulations about
Thanks.
that. And so I have another question for you in the grounds of teaching. Do you kind of take a bit of excitement seeing people come in with bright eyes, ready to do the radio, and seeing them grow and progress throughout their college careers?
I do, and I make no bones about it. My colleague Bud Broyles is really the person that keeps the day-to-day TV flame going, and I'm a radio guy. Yeah. I mean, I live, eat, breathe, and sleep radio. When I'm not here, I'm doing something involving radio all the time. Either I'm repairing radios at home, or I'm, doing part-time work at another radio station, or I build studios on the side. I'm just always engulfed in it. So I'm a very, very lucky man, Derek. If you are, and I think a very wise person told me this a long time ago, if your work and your career is also your hobby, you'll never work a day in your life.
It's true. That's true. And I can see you're always happy, you always got a smile. So I would say one of my questions is, hearing you about how that's your hobby and your passion, what would be some of the most fun, or one of your favorite projects you've worked on in your long radio career?
Well, I love talk radio. That's my passion, is the news talk radio format. I was a program director in news talk radio for 10 years. That was my last job in '04. So I always said that, boy, I just wish I could just go back and just for fun, go back and do talk radio again after all these years. And this last summer, it actually happened. I was approached by my old station, in fact. The gentleman who let me go in '04. We went to lunch and said, they've had some personnel changes. It's just the nature of the beast. The thing about being fired in radio, it's not like typical being fired in another job. I mean, it's nothing personal when it happens. I don't know if that makes sense. It's just like, we're going to go a different direction. It's nothing you did wrong, that sort of thing. So, I got called and I went to lunch, and from June 24th to August 9th, this past summer, I got thrown back in doing the same exact show I did years ago.
That's exactly.
The 3 to 6 afternoon show. And so I got my wish of going back and reliving it one more time. But the cool thing about it this time around is I got my wish, but I also knew there was an end date to it. I was just there for fun, knowing I was going to be coming back to this in the fall. So it was weird. It was even one of those first times ever where I actually had a countdown and actually could say goodbye to the audience, knowing this was my last day. And radio, if it's your last day, they'll just tell you after your show you're done and you're not coming back. You don't get a chance to say, I'm done on the air.
Yeah.
But so I had that 7-week summer job, and I got it out of my system. In fact, if I go another 20 years, I'll be just fine and maybe do it again.
Yeah. And so, I actually, taking your class, I do have one kind of personal question for you. I know you've voiced for some TV shows. What's that like? And how'd you get into that whole thing?
Well, I've always wanted to do voiceover work, and I've done a little bit of it over the years, but I've never really done it on a very serious level. And then one of my former students, Zach Lucan, who was a Lincoln College graduate, he actually is the executive producer of that show, Old Iron Adventures, on RFD TV. And he asked me if I would do the voiceover work and the narration for it, which I agreed to do it, and it's actually a paid position now for RFD TV. And it's a lot of fun. You take a lot of direction. You don't really have a lot of latitude to do it the way you want to do it. You do it the way they're going to tell you how to do it, because they're the director and you're just the talent. So yeah, it's fun, and I'd like to branch out to do a lot more of it. It's a highly competitive business, very competitive business to get into.
And you said you've been enjoying doing that?
I have. It's a good diversion. You can get into a rut. Zach told me over the summer, there was a couple of them, he said, I want you to redo those. And he goes, no offense, but those were terrible. So I'm like, okay, well, tell me what I need to do. He goes, you just sound tired. You sound and I was tired.
Yeah. It
was after a long day of working at the radio station. And so, absolutely. It's a lot of fun taking direction and just kind of being on the talent end rather than the management end.
And, you bring up a point that you don't really think about often is when your voice is your job and you're kind of having a bad day, you can hear it. So what are some ways that you kind of make sure that I might not have it in me today, but I got to sound good on the radio, or I got to record these clips for these guys?
Well, unfortunately, Derek, with live radio, you don't have much of a choice. Your show's at 3 o'clock, and you got to be ready. And doing that over the summer on WMBD was kind of interesting because the first 5 days, the first 10 days, I was just still on a big adrenaline high. Like, man, I haven't done this for a long time, and I'm really enjoying it. Every minute is just awesome. By week 5 or 6, I was starting to slow down. Yeah. It was getting to where, okay. And I knew that's when it's time to hang it up and go back to school. Mm-hmm. Because it's like by the last week, August 5th through the 9th, I remember like August 6th, August 7th, just saying, all right, I got to go to the radio station. And well, first of all, doing talk radio, you got to do show prep. You had to prep and do all the stuff ahead of time because it's just you for 3 hours. You don't have music to play. So getting up, logging on the computer, doing all the show prep, literally driving down to the studio tired, like, man, I don't want to do this today. But you get in there, and like my producer, Courtney, and the others that were in the studio would just watch me, just sitting there, just all really tired. And then it's like the microphone goes on, and just
you're back to it.
Back on. It's just like something clicks.
Yeah,
and you do it.
I kind of got a follow-up for you because, I do the radio here, EC 103.1.
Yes.
And so maybe my last question for you would be if you have any advice for young people who do the radio or people who are trying to, get into that and they're just now starting out, what advice would you have for them?
Understand that you're in a communication medium and you have to make meaningful connections to your audience, and radio is a very intimate medium. It's a one-on-one medium. It's not like TV. TV is more of a masses type medium. Radio, when you're in a studio, you treat it like you're talking to one person on the other side of that speaker, and you make that meaningful connection and speak in singulars. You. I'm talking to you right now, not all of you people out there, right? Keep it all very singular and keep it as intimate and personal as you can.
That's a good piece of advice. Thank you. You're watching Eureka College Basketball's halftime show. My name is Dirk Payton, and this is Dr. John Malone.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
So today's your 18th birthday? Hey, Bobby, pretty exciting.
Oh, yeah. I've got my whole life ahead of me. School, then a job. I've been waiting for this day forever.
And when will you be registering with Selective Service?
What? Oh, yeah. I don't know. I'll get around to it someday.
Someday?
Yeah, like whenever I get around to it. I don't know.
Well, Bobby, if you don't register with Selective Service within 30 days of your 18th birthday, you can lose out on college loans, job training, and government jobs. And then you'll be, like out of luck.
Bobby, where are you going?
I'm just gonna get online for a minute, then I'll be right back.
To register with Selective Service, log on to www.sss.gov or stop by your local post office.
There. Are you happy now?
Very.
We are back here at Lyon College. This game between the Eureka Red Devils and the Lyon Scots. Eureka with a very strong first half. They lead at 35-32. Amarion Bird leading the team with 9 points, and his defensive rebounds have been absolutely clutch. 6 defensive rebounds in this game. Eureka preventing Lyon from grabbing their own offensive boards, and that's been huge, especially when you're playing up against a competitive team like Lyon, who, remember, 5-1 in conference play. They are fighting for that second place spot in the SLIAC. So that is very crucial. Great job by Amarion Bird. Jonzel Bush for Lyon, he leads the team with 8 points, but he has also been doing really well offensively. A player that you do have to look out for, Colby West, almost 13 full minutes played in this game. And although he may not be contributing point-wise, he is all over the floor defensively. He has those defensive rebounds, those offensive rebounds. He does still have 6 points, but he's all over the floor. He's an aggressive player. We've seen him almost get up in the faces of several Eureka players in the first half, something that the Red Devils are going to have to look out for. Backdoor cut from Brown, unable to get the ball. Finally ends up with it. He's going to go up for the mid-range. That one falls. Eureka 37 now. That'll put Pee Wee Brown at 4 points in this game. Tony, top of the key for Lyon. I will admit, compared to last game and even all season, if you will, Eureka has improved significantly in this game. Ball movement has been more controlled. The pace of the game, that is the biggest thing. Pace of the game has been slowed down. Amarion Bird taking his time quite often going up the floor, and that is a very good thing. Eureka obviously knowing what exactly to do here in this game, and it's helped them out a lot. There's a mid-range from McCullough. That one falls through. Once again, a 3-point lead for Eureka. McCullough now at 5 points on the night. Bird once again taking his time. Exactly what you want to do if you're Eureka here. He's going to reset. Go to the rim, and he trips. That is going to be a foul. And Bird looks a little shaken up. That is not good. Marion Bird is down on the ground. And he is very slow to get up right now. That is not a good look for Eureka. And the trainer comes out on the floor. Crowd gets fairly quiet. Amarion Bird is going to be helped to his feet, and he is going to come out of this game. And he comes up limping. That is not a good sign for Eureka. So he will be applauded. On the way out. Obviously, Brown doesn't want to come out of this game. So he is going to come out. He'll be checked down by the trainer. And as I said, he came up limping, so we'll have to update you on that situation. Ben Carter looking for a sub. And it looks like that's going to be Sam DeJesus coming in for Bird. So just a minute in this game, and we have an injured player already, but Eureka keeps the basketball. Gameplay resumes. Ben Carter, top of the key. Backdoor cut. Brown loses the basketball, and Tony comes up with it. Eureka needs to slow things down here. You have to still play as if one of your star players is on the floor. West with a three. Bang! Colby West. I did say he's everywhere on the floor, and he ties it up at 37 with a three. He is now at 6 points on the... Actually 9 points on the night. Brown, top of the key. There's a screen from DeJesus. Brown with a three. That one way short. And he is going to get heckled from the crowd. As the fans for Lyon getting more into it. Tony taking it up the floor. And with an opportunity for the Scots to once again grab the lead here. There have been 3 lead changes already in this game. Bounce pass to McCullough in the paint. He's going to spin. Outside pass. Tony, wide open three. No good. Rebounded there by Madison. Madison really great at getting those rebounds, spinning, putting it up. No good. Fighting, loose ball. McCullough once again, right hand. And the Fighting Scots grab the lead, 39-37. Mental breakdowns have been an issue for the Red Devils. They have to remember, just under 18 minutes left to go. They're only down by 2. They're still in this game. Gonzalez, he's going to get blocked by Madison. Tony up the floor. Here's a three. That one, no good. And it looks like there's a reach and foul. I believe that one's going to go against Ben Carter on Malik Madison. Amarion Bird starting to walk under his own power on that sideline. Trying to jump around. Still looks a little shaken up there. Large pass west to McCullough in the paint. Right hand and good. That is very good ball control there from Kylan McCullough, who is now at 9 points tonight. And Eureka is going to have to take a timeout. So coming into the second half, an injury against Amarion Bird shakes up Eureka's offensive momentum. Stay tuned for more second half coverage coming up next here on EC 103.1.
Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by City Blue Technologies of Peoria, an Epson distributor serving Central Illinois. Did you know that North America consumes around 100 million pounds of toner powder annually? This is the equivalent of more than 2.5 billion plastic bottles, 9.5 billion plastic bags, or 116 billion plastic straws. Epson now has precision core heat-free printing as an alternative to laser printers. Learn about sustainable printing solutions from City Blue Technologies at citybluetechnologies.com.
We are back here for more second half coverage between the Eureka Red Devils visiting the Lyon Scots. And the start of the second quarter, as I mentioned before the break, Amarion Bird, a little bit of an injury, came off limping, had to sit out, and it looks like he's still going to remain out of this game for quite a while. And that injury from Bird has allowed the Scots to take the lead, currently up 41-37. And they are trying to capitalize here and extend. Brown inbounding it to Gonzalez. Gonzalez going up against Frank Tony. DeJesus now, and Brown fell. And it looks like there is going to be a foul call against Pee-wee Brown, or against Lyon on Pee-wee Brown. Ref signaling he was pushed. It does look like Amarion Bird is coming back into the game. Sam DeJesus out. So that's a great sign for Eureka. As, remember, Bird in this game leads the team right now, 9 points. So offensively, he's been really good. There's a bounce pass from Gonzalez, picked off by Tony. Scott's fast break opportunity. Tony puts it up. That one falls in. Extending their lead, now up by 6 points. And they are 2 short of their largest lead of the night. Remember, they were up. Excuse me, actually that's their biggest lead of the night. I was thinking of scoring runs. Bird blocked on his shot. West pushing up the floor against Banzamuna. And West on the floor. He'll be helped up. Looks like West playing really aggressively, as I mentioned earlier, but it's to a point where he could be in trouble for being called for an offensive foul. Got away with that one there, but you could definitely see him drop the shoulder and push himself into Banzamuna. Looks like Jalen Johnson coming into this game for Eureka. Jacob Gonzalez will come out and have some time to relax, catch his breath a little bit. 16:37 left to go in this game. Lyon 43, Eureka 37. Corner 3, that one's short. Bird with the rebound. Bird to Johnson. Ben Carter. Pee-wee Brown was open. Doesn't get the ball. Cut from Bird. Puts it up and good. Amarion Bird already back into this game. Sees his first 2 points. Lead cut down to 4 points now. And there's an offensive foul against Jalen Johnson. That one's going against Lyon. Jalen Johnson was pushed heavily to the ground. And Eureka will get the basketball back and try to cut down this lead. Once again, that is going to be the 4th turnover for Lyon. Johnson up the floor, back in the hands of Bird. Bird has been the mediator, if you will, in this game. Slowing things down, reminding his teammates that they have a lot of time. There's no need to rush a play. Staying within himself, Bird at the rim. Right hand, no good. Fighting for his offensive board. Carter puts it up, good. Second chance points there for Ben Carter. And in this game, he now has his first 2 points. There's I believe that was a corner 3 from Aquilo. Scott's 45, Eureka 41. That was actually still a good defensive drive there from Eureka, but Aquilo just able to get it over his defender. Banzamuna with the ball, hands it off to Carter. Carter to Bird. Bird in the corner. Eureka going to have to space out here a little bit. 6 on the shot clock. Banzamuna in trouble. Gets the screen from Bird. Deep 3. That's going to be blocked. Brown fighting for it. And it looks like that's going to be a turnover as the shot clock did expire. And I will say that was not the shot for Banzamuna. Banzamuna was locked up, and Eureka needs to come and help Banzamuna on that play. You cannot let your player, shot clock winding down, take that shot. He was heavily guarded. He was locked up. There was no chance. Here's a 3 from Aquilo. Good. 48-41. Scott's starting to pull away here. Eureka's still in it. They need to slow it down, get to the rim. Ben Carter fighting to the rim. Outside pass. Brown to the rim. Puts it up right hand and good. Gets the lucky bounce. Great job by Pee-wee Brown. It looked like Aquilo tried to take a hit there to his right hand, and he knocks one in. Aquilo and Brown exchanging right hand layups. 50-43. Banzamuna now with the ball. Brown in the paint. Directing traffic. He's going to spin. Bounce pass to Banzamuna, and he's going to be pushed. That's going to be a foul against Lyon. And Eureka needs to slow things down here. You can see starting to shake themselves up a little bit. Banzamuna is going to come out as for Eureka. We're going to see Jonah Loff enter the game. He's going to see his first minutes tonight. Ben Carter is going to inbound the basketball. 14 minutes left to go here in the second half. Scots 50, Red Devils 43. Remember, Eureka had the lead, a 3-point lead going into this half, now trailing by 7. Bird, bounce pass outside. Here's a 3 from Loft, no good. And that's going to be rebounded there by West. Scots come up with it. McCullough, pass Bird, stops his feet, passes outside West. He's going to slow things down. Bird tried to pick it off. Tony with some room against Carter. Left hand, good. And it looks like Eureka here is going to have to call a timeout. As I said, they had the lead coming into this half. All of a sudden, trailing 9 points, and Eureka in this timeout going to have to figure something out. Stay tuned for more second half coverage up next here on EC 103.1.
Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by Cornerstone Family Restaurant of Eureka. Locally and family owned for nearly 25 years by Michael and Donna Sweeney, Cornerstone Family Restaurant serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. They are open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sundays, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Dine in, carry out, or order online. Cornerstone Family Restaurant is located on Center Street on the west edge of Eureka. Get more information or order online at cornerstone-family-restaurant.com.
We are back here at Lyon College. Eureka loses their 3-point lead in which they had to start the second half. Lyon 52, Red Devils 43. And coming out of this timeout, Coach Wilde working up some plays. The momentum here for Lyon increasing rapidly. Fans getting more involved as well. Both teams start to make their way back out onto the court. And Eureka will start with the basketball. 13:27 left to go. Johnson going to have to take it up the floor, going against Tony. Brown in the hands of Bird. Carter in trouble. He's going to go to the rim. Right hand, good. Great job by Ben Carter to make a very, very impressive read. Ben Carter in this game. He is now going to have 4 points. He's shooting 3 for 4 from the field. That is over 66%. Tony, deep mid-range off of a leg. No good. Bird, rebound. This is where Eureka needs to slow it down. Carter, 3, and that is not the shot. Brown, rebound. Right hand, he's blocked. Ben Carter cannot take that shot. And now Frank Tony, wide open layup. Ben Carter cannot take that shot. He needs to wait for his teammates to get down the floor. Loff in trouble. He's going to run to the rim, loses the ball on the way up the floor, saves it. He needed to get it to Bird there. Brown, right hand, no good, rebounded by West. And there seems to be some pushing and shoving. Fans getting into it here. And if you can hear the crowd reaction to that through the mic on this headset, they are definitely getting into it here. Pee Wee Brown, aggressive player. He doesn't really put up with a lot, and he was fighting for the basketball against West. I did say West, aggressive player as well. You cannot have two aggressive players go up against each other because that's all that's going to happen. As now Carter and Brown on the bench taking some rest time. Brewer in the game as well as Dylan Logston. Here's a 3 from Aculo. No good. Rebounded there. John Paul. And it looks like there is going to be a whistle blown. Basketball will remain with Lyon, it looks like. Cunningham into the game for Lyon. He's going to be the inbounder. Just over 12 minutes left to go. Lyon 54, Eureka 45, and that's going to be a turnover as that one was tipped out of bounds. Eureka will regain possession of the basketball. 5 turnovers here for Lyon. Johnson coming up the floor. There's a screen from Loft. Gets it into the hands of Loft, who puts it up with the right hand. That is way short, and Maculo comes up with it. He's going to go for the 3. Bang! Extending the lead, 57-45. Eureka, their momentum is starting to slow down. Remember, that has been the storyline for the season. They need to stay within themselves. They make a lot of these games very competitive, and they don't have to be. Eureka is very good at getting the ball to the basket. There's a 3 from Jonah Loft, and instead of rushing to the basket, he knocks down the triple, 57-48, and the Red Devils will take a timeout here. So hopefully that 3 by Loft sparks that momentum that is missing from this team right now. Stay tuned for more second half coverage up next here on EC 103.1.
Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub in Eureka. Locally owned by Mike and Bob Mayo, Wendy Puff Pizzeria offers a unique variety of pizzas, appetizers, salads, and desserts. Wendy Puff is open Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 and Fridays and Saturdays from 4 to 10. Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub at 112 South Main Street in downtown Eureka. They also offer online ordering at wendypuff.com.
We are back live from Arkansas here on EC 103.1 as the Red Devils try to spark something offensively, get their momentum back after a 3 from Jonah Loft. Lyon 57, Eureka 48. And Eureka had the lead coming into the second half. All of a sudden, trailing by 9 points right now. Lyon will start with the basketball. West will inbound. Both teams becoming a little bit more aggressive. We saw Brown and West start to get into it just a little bit. West against Bird. Bounce pass. Gets his defender in the air, and good. 11-point lead for the Scots. Jonah Loft is going to get it into the hands of Bird. Eureka moving the ball really well, slowing things down. Johnson into the hands of Brewer. Brewer fighting against 2 defenders. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Large pass. Here's an open 3. Dylan Logsden. No good. Ball ends up in the hands of Bush. That was a wide open 3 there from Dylan Logsden. Maybe rushed it a little bit too quickly. It's not always the easiest thing to do when you have a defender rushing in your plain sight. Here's a 3 from Maculo. No good. Rebounded by Johnson. Eureka needs to slow it down here. Johnson in the paint. Over to Brewer. Brewer puts it up with the right hand. Short. Rebounded by Maculo. Once again, a shot on the run from Brewer. Just maybe not taking the best shots here for Eureka. And that's typically what happens when they get down. They had the lead most of the first half. Had the lead going into the second half. All of a sudden, they're making a lot of bad decisions offensively. Lyon taking advantage and in transition scoring as well, extending their lead. DeJesus in the game. Brewer, top of the key. He'll get it into the hands of Dylan Logsden. Outside pass to DeJesus. He's going to flip it to Loft. Johnson now. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Great defense by Lyon. Johnson's going to have to do something here. Outside DeJesus with a 3. Too strong and rebounded by Tony. Once again, right there, Eureka holding onto the ball a little bit too long. Logsden had a shot when he went inside of that arc. He had a shot, but instead he decided to hand it off, and it results in a missed 3 by DeJesus. West putting it up, no good. Loose ball, fighting for it, and Dylan Logsdon looks like he has it. Jump ball is the signal. Clock will stop at 9 minutes on the dot. And this one, I believe, is going to stay with Lyon as Tony will inbound. Coach Wilde right now reserving his starters, but they definitely need to get back in the game at some point. Right now, as we see Bird, Banzamuna, and Brown all on the bench right now. Same with Gonzalez and Carter, all 5 starters on the bench. They're going to have to get back into this game at some point. Tony spinning around his defender, fires a deep 2. That one, swish right through the net. 61-48. And that lead continues to expand for Lyon. Eureka needs to get their starters in right now. Flipped. Here's an open 3 from Loft. Good. 51-61. Eureka now down by 10. A little bit over 8 minutes left to go. Still a lot of time in basketball. Tony stands at the top of the key. Lyon seems to be draining out a lot of clock on their offensive possessions. There's a screen set by John Paul. Tony under the net. He's going to spin out, jumping, firing. That one no good. Loft with the defensive rebound. And Eureka has a chance to make something of it. Logsdon using his long legs to get to the rim. And he is going to be fouled. So he'll have a shot at the line for 2. Dylan Logsdon in this game, he has not had an attempt at the free throw line, but he does have 5 points. So this is his first 2 shots at the line, knocking down his first attempt. Logsdon in this game, 13 minutes. He's shooting 50% from the field, and he also has a 3-pointer as well. Hoping to make back-to-back free throws. And that one's short, rebounded by McCullough. So he'll go 1 for 2 at the line. But that was the right idea for the Red Devils. You want to stop the clock, draw the contact. There's a block from DeJesus, who now ends up with the basketball. Gets it into the hands of Brewer. Eureka can make something work here, and I'm surprised there's no foul call there, as it looks like McCullough pressed right up against Brewer. Here's a corner 3. That one, no good. They're going to say that I believe Bush was out of bounds, so even though he made the 3, it won't count. So a missed opportunity there for the Scots, and Eureka once again has a chance here to capitalize. Take advantage of the mistakes. Dylan Logsdon with the basketball. Johnson now. There's the screen from Loft. McCullough right there to greet him. And there is going to be a foul call. Of course, Loft made the 3 as well, but unfortunately it won't count. It's going to be Jalen Johnson inbound. 7:03 left to play. Lions 61, Eureka 52. 9-point game. Brewer, corner 3, just off, rebounded into the hands of Bell, and Tony will take it up the floor. Finally passing that half-court line. Once again, the Scots just slowing things down offensively, trying to drain out as much clock as possible. Tony against Johnson, between the legs, outside pass. Bell looking for room, to the rim, and he's going to lose the ball in a late foul call. So once again, the clock will stop, 6:35. And Trenton Bell is going to have a chance to inbound this one. Actually, I believe it's going to be Frank Tony. Bell in this game, no points yet. He's played in only 6 minutes. Here's a 3. That one good from McCullough. As Lyon continues to pull away. 12-point lead. Loft with the 3, no good. Logsdon offensive board. Brewer to DeJesus. Dylan Logsdon, pump fake there. He's going to float it, pass, and that's going to be an offensive foul against Dylan Logsdon. That definitely was not an offensive foul. Once again, the refs being a little lenient towards Lyon right now. And that is going to force Eureka to take a timeout here, as Coach Wilde in a heated discussion with the referee right now. Understandably so. There was no way that was an offensive foul. Logsdon slowed his momentum going up to the rim, and by the time he was in the air, he switched from looking to shoot overhand, and his hand went under to float the ball into the net. And of course, Lyon pretty much setting that up. All game, the refs have been a little lenient towards Lyon. And you have to think maybe that's why they win so many games. They get a lot of these calls. From this game alone, Lyon hasn't been the best basketball team. To me, in this game, they have not been a team that proves they deserve a 5-1 record in this LIAC. But both teams back into play. It looks like Amarion Bird is going to sub in any minute now. Eureka double teaming Tony. There's a pass to Bush. 6 minutes to play. And once again, Tony with the basketball is just going to slow things down. Trying to drain out as much clock as possible. Bell in the paint. He's going to hand it off to John Paul. Spinning under the net. Right hand. No good. Gets his own offensive board and puts it in. 66-52. John Paul, 6 points on the night. Dylan Logsdon over to DeJesus. Brewer now standing just past the Scots logo. Loft. Bounce pass. That was going to be picked off by Tony. A misread there by Dylan Logsdon, who was in position. And at the same time, Loft bounced the ball over. Logsdon decided to take a step back, allowing Tony to step in and pick that one off. So Eureka all of a sudden 13 turnovers in this game. And it looks like there was a foul against Eureka, so Tony will be sent to the line because of the bonus. Tony in this game, 15 points, knocks down that first free throw attempt. He's second in the point total right now in this game, behind McCullough with 22. Tony has 85 points in his last 5 games, and he has 437 minutes played this season. He goes 2 for 2 at the line. 68-52, Lyon on top. 5 minutes, 17 seconds left to go in this game. Provost to Bird. Dylan Logsdon now. Bird directing traffic. Pass to Provost in the corner, spinning. Pass over to Logsdon, open look, he's going to put it up, and no good. Didn't get the lucky bounce, no foul call either. Looks like Logsdon is questioning the play. Sidestep, McCullough, right hand, no good. Dylan Logsdon grabs the rebound. Provost, another open look. He's going to pass it outside. Logsdon to the rim. Bird, open three, no good. And Tony kind of shook him off anyway, pretty disrespectful. Didn't believe Bird can shoot it. And unfortunately, he was right on that try. Once again, Tony just slowing things down. 4 minutes, 20 seconds. Pass into the paint. John Paul. He's going to pass it outside. McCullough, three, good. 25 points for Kylan McCullough. Remember his season high, 31. That was a home game against MUW. Lyon picked up the win in that game, 69-67. Provost in trouble, gets the Bird screen. Unable to find Bird on that backdoor cut. Provost is going to put it up with the right hand. He's blocked, gets it back. Bounce pass to Bird. Bird in the paint, and that one is good. So finally, Eureka finds an offensive answer. 71-54, still down by a lot. And at this point, with the way Lyon is running offensively, slowing things down, running out the clock, they might be able to walk away with this one. Bush in trouble. Crossover move against Provost. Jumping. Right hand, no good. Bird coming up with it. Johnson wanted the corner three. Instead goes to the rim, and he's going to put that one up and in. And once again, Coach Wieldy is going to take a timeout. We're going to keep things here, though. So Lyon recognizes the large lead that they have, and they're almost just letting Eureka go for the wide open shots at this point. 15-point lead for Lyon. We saw that with Bird's three when Tony kind of just shook him off. Bird ended up missing it. And Johnson on that previous layup was uncontested. None of the Lyon defenders even wanted to go up against him just simply because of how big of the lead they have is. Finally, looks like out of the timeout, both teams onto the floor. 3 minutes, 5 seconds left to play. Lyon 71, Eureka 56. The Scots will start with the basketball. Tony once again just winding down the clock. He's going to start to jog past the half-court line. That one picked off there by Coker. He's going to take it to the rim. Great read there. Eureka needs to get to the rim. They cannot shoot a three here. They need to get to the rim. Bird in the paint. Pump fake. Puts it up. No good. Again, not really contested on the shot, but just missing, moving a little too quickly. As Bird visibly frustrated with himself. He's going to foul Tony there. Just over 2.5 minutes left to go. Again, the foul allowing Tony to get to the line. Tony, his last attempt only went 1 for 2. Knocks down that first attempt. 5 for 18 from the field. 32 minutes in this game. 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 1 block, 5 steals. And of course, 19 points on the night after going 2 for 2 from the line. Eureka once again trying to get back into it. 2.5 minutes left to go. Bird outside to Jesus with a three. Just off. Blake Logsdon offensive board. Great job there by Logsdon. Provost in the paint. Right hand, no good. Taken away by Coker. He'll put it up and in. 58 points for Eureka. And they're definitely going to have to press Tony here if they want to come back. Between the legs. Tony, left hand, good. That's a great job by Frank Tony. Got the ball past 3 different defenders. Bird, 3, bang! Marion Bird quickly responds, but Frank Tony able to get through 3 defenders against Eureka and using his left hand, his non-dominant hand, to get the ball up. Wide open 3. Tony in the corner, short. Rebounded by Coker. Fighting for the basketball, and it is going to end up with Eureka. Ref does blow the whistle, but it's Eureka possession. A minute 37 left to go. Lions 75, Eureka 61. Because of the foul, we're going to see Coker at the line. This is going to be his first attempt at the free throw line in this game. 5 minutes, 1 for 1 from the field, 2 rebounds, and 2 points as he knocks down that first attempt. I will say, if Eureka plays their cards right, this is definitely a game that they can still come back in. But they have to, of course, offense is huge as Coker goes 2 for 2, but you have to press here. And that's exactly what they're going to do on defense. They're pressing Tony. Provost cannot back up the way he's backing up. Nearly picked off by Blake Logsdon. West back in the game. Open look for Bush. Corner 3. No good. Rebounded there. Madison outside. McCullough. 3. No good. Brewer with the rebound. And now you have to hurry up a little bit. On offense, Blake Logsdon to the rim, outside, Bird, corner three, bang! Got the lucky bounce, and a timeout is going to be called. 75-66, Eureka. A minute and 5 left to go, with potential to come back into this game. We haven't had a game this season in which the Red Devils have had to play overtime. But that could very much be the case, as I mentioned earlier, as long as they keep playing their cards right. Eureka on a little run of their own. Bird back-to-back threes on offense. Only down by 9 points, which, if you know basketball, is very, very simple. Especially with a full minute and 5 seconds left to go. This might just come down to another one of those occurrences where Eureka needs to just draw the contact. If you're open for a three, of course you can't pass it up, but you need to draw the contact, get to the basket. And that's how they're going to win this game. If they can get to the basket, draw the contact. You need to stop the clock here if you are Eureka. So both teams make their way out onto the floor. A minute 5 left to go. Lions 75, Eureka 66. Coverage here on EC 103.1. Matthew Swan bringing you this second half coverage. Lyon with the basketball. West fighting, and it looks like he pushed his defender. I don't know how West is getting away with this. Looks like even his coach maybe telling him to cut it out there, as West went from smiling to kind of looking surprised, but West does get fouled, allegedly, so he will be sent to the line. That's going to be the move for Eureka. You need to defend. And his first free throw attempt, no good. West in this game, 9 points, 4 for 7 from the field. This is his first look at the line, and he goes 1 for 2. Now at 10 points on the night. Blake Logsdon taking it up the floor, hands it off to Bird. Eureka needs to push the pace here. Down by 10. Bird calling for the Coker screen. Hands it off to Coker. Eureka needs to push the pace here. You have to get a shot up. And Coker loses the basketball. Tony going right hand. Good. Well, there's definitely not taking enough time on a possession, and then there's taking too much time, and that's what Eureka did right there. They needed to get a shot up. They wasted way too much time off of the clock just to turn the ball over. Provost 3, no good, rebounded by Madison. Fighting for it, and a foul. Eureka down by 12, Lions 78, Eureka 66. 28 seconds on the game clock. And even if it seemed almost impossible to come back, that second to last offensive possession for Eureka is one that they need to hurry up with. You cannot take that much time on the shot clock. So Madison, after the foul, gets sent to the line, knocking down his first free throw. That'll be his third point of the game. Madison 1 for 8 from the field. Not necessarily the huge offensive guy that a lot of these other players for Lyon are known for, but he does contribute defensively. And he goes 2 for 2 from the line there. It is an 80-66 ball game. 28.8 seconds left on the clock, and Coach Wilde will call a timeout. So, of course, this could be one of the last possessions for Eureka in this game, as Coach Wilde draws up a play on his clipboard. Despite what might be a loss, Eureka has improved significantly from their last game on the road against Spalding. In this game, Eureka slowing down the pace of the game significantly. And that's the biggest thing that they had to worry about. They move the ball a lot. They're an aggressive team. They like to push the pace, but in previous games, they have seen that it doesn't help, and all it causes it causes them to turn the basketball over. In this game, they've controlled the ball a lot better, slowed down the pace of the game, and they had energy. Energy was huge too. They like to beat themselves up, but they had energy through the first half, most of the second half. That's a way to win games. But both teams back into play. Bird up the floor. He's going to fake pass, take it back outside. Provost, pump fake, stops his feet outside. Bird, pump fake. Here's going to be a corner three. Brewer, bang! 80-69. And looks like Lyon at this point just going to hold on to it. And that is how this game ends. So Lyon wins the game. A final score 80-69. So Eureka is going to drop to 3-11 overall. That'll make them 2-5 in conference play. The Scots now 9-5 overall, 6-1 in conference play. So they will obtain that second place spot that they have been significantly fighting for. Eureka, hot start all game. It wasn't until the middle and end of the second quarter when they started to lose momentum, but overall a really great game. McCullough led the team 25 points. Tony right behind him with 23. And for Eureka, of course, who else but Amarion Bird. He led the team with 19 points. Overall, a very, very great game for the Red Devils. Our next broadcast of Eureka College basketball will be on January 18th when Eureka visits MUW. You can hear that broadcast right here on EC 103.1. Coverage begins at 1 p.m. Live from the City Blue Technologies broadcast booth, Eureka College basketball is made possible by City Blue Technologies, a leading Epson dealer serving Central Illinois, Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub in Eureka, and by Cornerstone Family Restaurant, also in Eureka. The executive producer of Eureka College is Dr. John Malone. Tonight's studio operator was also Dr. John Malone. On behalf of my broadcast crew, this is Matthew Swamp. Thank you for listening.